Some of you on stream yesterday were asking me if I'd do a little tutorial on how I made my slow stitch owlets, part of my owl family. So to start with, I drew round the Pritt stick and I cut out 2 little rounds of cotton, and then I do a running stitch all the way round to make them ruffly. And then I cut out 2 circles slightly smaller, and then I ruffle those up. A running stitch is just like this. Tie it off, and then it's just in and out, a normal stitch. You might have another name for it. It's a very relaxing hobby, stitching. And I've got my trusty friend with me, Freddie. And then when you get to the end, just do a little double stitch. Let me get to the end of this so I can show you how to ruffle it. Oh, deep relaxing sighs from Freddie there. That's it. So just because it's a running stitch, just pull it up a little bit so it ruffles, and then to hold that into place, just 2 stitches. 1, 2. There we are. Get my scissors. And that's one eye all ready to have a little button put on it. Oh. I've got my handy dandy travel sewing to go kit from Brooks. The little owls lined up. I've got everything I need, and today I'm going to be using some fabric that Deborah Joy sent me to make another little owlet. There's no set measurements for the little owlet. Just nice little fabric piece here. So I'm going to cut it down like this. So I've got 2, and I'm going to sew the backing on later to cover up all my stitches. And because this is slow stitching, it's not embroidery, all the stitches are very rough and ready. Just sheer relaxation. Deborah's given me a little note here to say that this satin is from the 1800s, 1850s. Isn't that amazing? I could just hoard it, but I think I'm just going to use it. It'll be a joy to use it. I'm cutting out 2 little wing shapes. No right or wrong for these shapes. Just any little wing shape, because I'm going to put some more material on top of that. Let's get cut some more little bits. How lovely, like a little rose here. You can use your tiny little scraps, and I'm using scraps, creating scraps. There's 1 to go on there. I'm just building up lots of little bits and pieces, because of course normally I've got my little handy dandy owl bag there full of bits. You don't have to be the same size or anything. I'm just going to lay all these layers on there. Got some different colours here. Look at this lovely pink. It's a pink rose there. Beautiful fabric from Deborah joy. Thank you so much. And how fitting to use it to make a cute little owl. There we are. Just layering up little bits and pieces there. Maybe I'm going to put another piece of this beautiful satin. Just cut it in half. Sort of symmetrical, but doesn't have to be that much. And there's a wing. And then I'm going to get my stitching, and I'm literally just going to stitch that wing on there. Just with a simple stitch. Now, if you know embroidery stitches, you can put embroidery stitches on here. Whatever you feel you can do. Of course, because the camera's on, it's slipping. That's fine. There we are. Let's try again. Let's try again. There we are. It's going to be such a lovely little vintage owl, this one. Little owlet to join the family. We've got a family of owlets, a family of owls. I've got the mummy one, and our lovely Lizzie Brewer, link below, has got a beautiful button owl made. They're the adult owls, and Nettie has made a nice man owl, and that's from Snippets of Silk Ties. Absolutely gorgeous. And then Nettie and I were chatting on Facebook, on a Facebook Live, and we realised that our little owls had got married and had little owlet babies. So these are the grandchildren. And these ones are going to be winging their way all around the world after today. They're going off in happy mail. So I need to make some more. One for my fabric slow stitch journal, and probably some more for happy mail too. There we are. So that's the wings. So very simple. Very simple. You can add more stitches if you want to. There we are. And I probably will. That just tacks that down, really. I'm using some thread that Deborah gave me too. There we are. So there's the little owl so far, with some little wings. I've got this beautiful vintage trim from Becky Waters, sorry. Cut that. It's got gorgeous little roses on it. And I'm going to do a gather stitch or a running stitch along the top of that as well. I'm making a little apron for our owl. So let me see, something wrong with my cotton here. Let me just snip that end off there. Lovely. So here we are. You can see we're having a nice peaceful afternoon after being outside. But we'll probably go for another walk later. And I might take this with me because, as you can see, slow stitching is quite portable. You could take it off to a doctor's appointment or a hospital appointment, or for when you go visiting. Look at that. So I've just gathered it up and make the little gathers. Let me see, that's going to be the right length So then you just pop a double stitch in there just to hold it. There we are. And I'm not going to unthread that. I'm going to, there we are, sew it on right away. Oh, what a dear little apron. Oh, this is going to be such a gorgeous vintagey feel to this one. How lovely. So tuck the apron under her wing, or some of them I put lace. Let me show you. This one, I put just a little piece of lace across. Oh yes, but the rest, and this one has the same thing, but it's a little embroidery onglé apron. They're very cute, aren't they? So there we are. Place it underneath the wings and sew on your apron with just some more ordinary stitches, nothing fancy. This is a lovely doable project. You can do it a few in an afternoon if you would like to. No rush. To be deterred by the British weather, I was going to sit in the middle of a gorgeous flower field, but never mind. I literally just packed the little owlets in a little case to travel with, and I'm going to sit under here and do some summer sewing. We're British. A beautiful young oak tree is our shelter, sheltering from the rain underneath the tree. Freddie doesn't look too sure, does he? He says, come on, Mum, we usually plough through this. We're sheltering. Now, I've got some tiny little buttons and some larger pearl ones, but I think I've chosen these little grey ones to sew into the centre of the eyes. The button on and the eye at the same time. Now don't worry, it's not thunder and lightning, so I'm okay under this tree, just in case you're worrying. Of course I didn't bring an umbrella or a raincoat, so I think we're in the right place. There we are, one little eye on. It's all going to come together soon. Now to make a little beak, I'm just going to literally cut some little triangles of fabric in various sizes to layer it up, maybe 3. And as I say, there is no right or wrong way to do this. You can add your own touches, you'll have your own ideas. There we are, 3 little snippety layers. They don't have to be, oh, that's it. They don't have to be anything all cut to the right size. Just wonderful. And then I'm going to stitch that beak on. Lovely. Just get my threads here. We're staying quite dry underneath our shelter. Oh, just do some stitches there. Stitch on that beak. And I'm going to I'll probably add some beads. And I'm going to cut out some little wonky hearts to go on her flower. Stitching on a little heart shape to the top of her wings. This is where you could add beads as well, if you wanted to. Or charms, whatever you've got in your stash. Come on then, Freddie. So here we go. Oh, it's lovely. Do you know, it's stopped raining now. Probably a bit wet for us to sit in the in the middle of the field, isn't it, Fred? Ah, gorgeous though. Absolutely lovely. Ah, time for a tea break, I think. My little knitted tea cosy. I've got some Whittard's vanilla tea. It's absolutely gorgeous. Pan out to the rest of the kitchen table though. This is the reality of it. Got the Dremel out for another project. But that's for another day. Right, let's go and have this tea. Oh, back home in the dry now. And the quiet hum of the fridge in the background and little Freddie snoring underneath the kitchen table. So I'm now getting that second piece of fabric and putting it on the back to cover up all our stitches. And again, just an ordinary stitch, like a running stitch. Gather the material up like that. Lift up the little wing there and put the stitches underneath that, just to join these two pieces of fabric together. And don't forget, this is slow stitching, or whatever you would like to call it. Doesn't matter if the stitches are all different sizes. And as I go, I'm slightly gathering it, just slightly, just to give her a little rounder look. You could put some lavender inside, make it a lavender bag. You could put some stuffing inside. We can all make these differently. So yeah, just finishing off that last bit of running stitch and just gathering it up a little bit and then finishing it off with just two little stitches there to hold it tight. There we are. I'm going to snip that off. Oh, she's cute. And then there she is. And just snip the corners off, just to round it up a bit, like so. Making sure I don't snip the wings. There we are, I don't want to do that. Just chopping those corners off, round her up a bit. And there she is. Oh, just the basics. And here's my mummy owl. Done the same really, with the round eyes and the beak, and I cut little feather shapes. I made lighter in the middle and then just sewed little feather shapes on, and I'm adding beads and buttons too. Now here's a screenshot of Nettie's wonderful daddy owl. And don't forget to follow the link down below for Lizzie's take on the owl. Hers is all covered in buttons and it's got a beautiful big butterfly piece of material in the middle. There's so many ways to do this. Here's the little owl grandchildren. And who wants to join in the challenge? Who else would like to make a little owl family? Join in the fun. Thank you for watching. Bye.